Welcome to Wise Minds. What you are about to see may shock you, it may surprise you, but will definitely challenge everything you thought you knew. Stick around until the end to discover the hidden knowledge that they don't want you to have. Have you ever felt uneasy around someone who seems perfectly nice? Your gut tells you something's off, but you can't put your finger on it. What if that feeling isn't paranoia, but your intuition picking up on hidden hostility? Today, we'll explore how Carl Jung's concept of the shadow helps explain why some people can be hostile while appearing friendly, and how you can spot the warning signs before getting hurt. What if the traits that bother you most in others are actually parts of yourself you've pushed into the darkness? Have you ever met someone who seemed nice on the surface, but something about them just felt off? That feeling might be more important than you think. Today, we're diving into a powerful idea from a famous psychologist, Carl Jung, the shadow. So what exactly is the shadow? Think of it as the part of yourself that you don't want to admit exists. It's like a box where you store all the angry, selfish, or mean parts of yourself that don't match who you want to be. We all have a shadow. Yes, even you. Here's where it gets interesting. When we refuse to admit these darker parts of ourselves exist, something strange happens. We start seeing these traits everywhere in other people instead. This is called projection. Let me give you an example. If someone can't admit they feel jealous sometimes, they might accuse everyone around them of being jealous. They're taking their own hidden feeling and projecting it onto others. This is why people with hidden hostility often don't even realize what they're doing. Their brain is playing a trick on them. Their nasty comments or fake smiles aren't always planned. They're unconscious behaviors coming from unaddressed shadow material. Understanding the shadow gives you a superpower. When someone acts nice, but your gut says something else, you might be picking up on their shadow peeking through their friendly mask. Their hidden hostility isn't about you. It's about the parts of themselves they can't face. By learning to spot these signs, you can protect yourself from relationships that might hurt you down the road. And there's another benefit too. Recognizing the shadow in others helps you start looking at your own. Now let's explore how this hidden hostility actually shows up in conversations. What if the compliments you're receiving aren't actually compliments at all? Now that you understand how the shadow works, let's talk about how to spot it in everyday conversations. Sometimes, the most telling signs come from the words people use, even when they sound friendly on the surface. Have you ever received a compliment that somehow left you feeling worse? That's what we call a backhanded compliment. It sounds nice at first, but carries a hidden sting. When someone says, "You look great today," finally, they're actually pointing out that they think you usually don't look good. Ouch! Another big red flag is when someone uses harsh sarcasm and then quickly says, "just joking," when they see your reaction. This is a classic move to make you feel oversensitive while they get away with saying something mean. Pay attention when someone gives you advice you didn't ask for. While some advice comes from a good place, hidden hostility often shows up as helpful suggestions that make you feel inadequate. "I'm just trying to help" becomes their shield. Watch out for chronic gossiper too. If someone constantly talks badly about others to you, guess what? They're probably doing the same about you when you're not around. Their shadow is showing through their need to put others down. Does someone keep bringing up your past mistakes in conversations where they don't belong? This isn't forgetfulness. It's their way of keeping you small and reminding you of your failures. Finally, notice if someone consistently downplays your achievements. Comments like, "well, anyone could do that," or changing the subject when you share good news are ways their shadow shows its jealousy. These verbal clues are powerful indicators, but the body never lies. Next, let's look at the nonverbal signs that can reveal hidden hostility even more clearly. Why might your body react with tension to someone even when their words seem perfectly friendly? Word can hide true feelings, but our bodies often tell the real story. Have you ever felt tense around someone without knowing why? Your body might be picking up on signals your conscious mind hasn't noticed yet. One of the most telling signs is when someone's facial expressions don't match their words. We call this smile with the mouth, but not the eyes. Real smiles involve the muscles around the eyes. They crinkle and light up. Fake smiles only use the mouth and look stiff or forced. When someone's shadow is at work, this mismatch happens a lot. Watch for body language that contradicts friendly words. They might be saying nice things while their arms are tightly crossed, their shoulders are tense, or they're leaning away from you. Your brain notices these mixed signals, even if you can't name them. Brief flashes of negative emotions, what experts call microexpressions, can reveal hidden feelings. A quick eye roll, a flash of sneer, or a momentary look of disgust that happens so fast you wonder if you imagined it. These are your clues. Notice if someone regularly interrupts or talks over you. This behavior shows a lack of respect that contradicts their friendly words. Similarly, pay attention to how they position themselves. Standing too close, looming over you, or blocking doorways can be subtle power moves. Perhaps most telling is the energy shift when certain people enter a room. If everyone suddenly gets quiet, changes the subject, or seems tense, that's a powerful sign that something's off. Your body's reaction is like an early warning system. Trust that knot in your stomach. It's picking up on these signals before your conscious mind can process them. Now, let's explore why people behave this way by looking at the psychological motivations behind hidden hostility. What hidden pain might be driving someone to act this way? Now that you can spot the signs of hidden hostility, let's understand what's really happening below the surface. Remember, this behavior isn't really about you. It's about what's going on inside the other person. At the core of most hidden hostility is deep insecurity. When someone feels bad about themselves, they might try to feel better by putting others down. It's like they're thinking, if I can make someone else look small, maybe I'll feel bigger. This is their shadow at work, trying to protect their fragile self-image. Envy is another powerful force. When someone secretly wishes they had your qualities, achievements, or relationships, their shadow might respond with subtle hostility rather than admiration. Their backhanded compliments or dismissive remarks are often clues that they want what you have. Some people fear getting too close to others. Their hidden hostility serves as a shield against vulnerability. They push you away indirectly because they're afraid of being hurt if they let you in. It's sad, but their unfriendly behavior actually protects them from the connection they secretly crave. Control issues drive a lot of passive-aggressive behavior too. When someone feels powerless in their life, they might try to control others through manipulation instead of healthy communication. Their shadow uses these tactics to feel some sense of power. Many times, the person's behavior has roots in childhood experiences. Current interactions might trigger old wounds they haven't healed. When this happens, their reaction isn't really to you. You've accidentally touched a sore spot from their past. Finally, how people treat others often reflects how they treat themselves. Someone who is harshly self-critical will project that same criticism outward. Their shadow is simply doing to you what it does to them all the time. Understanding these motivations helps us respond with wisdom rather than reaction. So how exactly should you handle these situations? Let's explore that next. What if you could transform these difficult relationships without becoming hostile yourself? Now that you understand why people behave this way, let's talk about what you can actually do about it. The good news is you don't have to become hostile yourself to handle these situations effectively. First and most importantly, trust your gut. That uncomfortable feeling you get around certain people isn't just in your head. It's your body's wisdom trying to protect you. If being around someone leaves you feeling drained or on edge, pay attention to that signal. Setting clear boundaries is your most powerful tool. This means deciding what behavior you will and won't accept and calmly stating those limits. For example, you might say, "I notice you often make jokes at my expense. I'd like you to stop doing that." Be direct, but not angry. When someone makes a passive-aggressive comment, try responding with a straightforward question. If they say, "Well, I guess not everyone can be good at math like me," you can simply ask, "What do you mean by that?" This gentle confrontation often stops the behavior because it brings their shadow into the light. It's also wise to limit how much time and emotional energy you invest in relationships that consistently show these warning signs. You don't need to cut people off completely, but creating some distance is often healthy. Practice compassion by remembering that their behavior comes from their own pain. However, compassion doesn't mean letting people treat you poorly. You can understand someone's struggles while still protecting yourself. Sometimes, you may need to consider whether certain relationships are worth maintaining at all. It's okay to let go of connections that consistently hurt you, especially if the person shows no interest in changing. By handling these situations with awareness and calm strength, you're not just protecting yourself. You're also creating an opportunity for growth, both for you and possibly for them too. So what's the bigger picture here? Let's wrap up with what this all means for creating healthier relationships in your life. We've covered a lot of ground today, and now you have powerful knowledge that most people never learn. Let's put it all together. You now understand Jung's shadow concept, that hidden part of ourselves we don't want to face. When people don't acknowledge their shadow, it often comes out as hidden hostility toward others. This insight helps you see that their behavior isn't really about you at all. You can spot the warning signs, both in what people say and what their bodies show. Those backhanded compliments, the gossip, the fake smiles that don't reach the eyes. These are all clues that something deeper is happening. You understand why people act this way, because of their insecurities, fears, envy, or past wounds. This knowledge lets you respond with wisdom instead of taking things personally. Most importantly, you have practical strategies to protect yourself. By trusting your intuition, setting clear boundaries, and choosing where to invest your emotional energy, you can navigate even difficult relationships with confidence. But here's where this journey gets really interesting. As you get better at spotting the shadow in others, you'll start to recognize it in yourself too. We all have parts we hide away. When you notice yourself feeling strangely hostile towards someone, ask yourself, what might this reveal about my own shadow? By bringing awareness to these hidden patterns, both in others and in yourself, you create the foundation for more honest, authentic connections. Real relationships happen when we can see each other clearly, shadow and all. So I challenge you, pay attention this week to your gut feelings around others. Notice the signs we've discussed, and most courageously, look inward at your own reactions. The path to better relationships starts with this awareness. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more insights on psychology and relationships. Share it with someone who might benefit from understanding these hidden dynamics. And let me know in the comments, what signs of hidden hostility have you noticed in your own relationships? Until next time, remember that the most important relationship you'll ever have is with yourself, shadow and all.